Welcome everyone to the Goddess Temple. My name is Chris, and for today's video, what I have coming through is this deep calling to pause, reflect, and to listen to your intuition. So this is an invitation to go within, to notice and take count of what was happening throughout your journey so far. What are the things that you have accomplished? What are things that you have put into place, and notice that, you know what, you're actually picking it up. You've been putting in the work. You've been doing the task as you wanted to do, and you're noticing that, you know what, I kind of could use a little work on this little part, or there is this little thing that I worked on back then. I'm ready to incorporate more of it and to go deeper, to enhance my skills and my ability and a little bit of my work, just a little bit more. And so you're being asked to reflect back in, to take count of what's happening, and to give yourself the space, the time, the breathable energy to move through it, to move through what your highest aligned path is. And the thing is, this highest aligned path, whether you are aware of what it is and how to define it, whether you are or not aware of it, is secondary. But just knowing that no matter what, you are always guided along that path. But it does require intentional effort and focus and refocusing to ensure that you're moving along that path. And so that's what this time is calling you for. It's to go intuitively within, to reflect and see, wait, what is going to yield for me my highest path, my highest timeline? What are things that I could incorporate? What are inspirations that I can hold and act on? So the focus being not on taking the actions just yet, but it's just about putting together the action plan. And you're going to be getting these inspired hits with little bits and pieces. It's going to be jumbled up. The timeline on when you act on all of these are going to be all over the place. And so it's not about looking for the linear path. This is more of an experiential path. And so to move towards this journey that you're on, there's an aspect of you, a focus that you're being guided towards, something that you may have put aside, something that you may have kind of let slide just a little bit, and you're being asked to reflect on it, to bring it back to life so you can critically assess how to move through it. And from you moving through it, it's going to give you a little bit of an insight into what's the next little phase for you to step into. What's the next little inspiration? What's the next little creativity? What's the next little habits? And getting to know yourself in the process. For the first time, you're starting to see what it means for you to define who you are. For you to be the one to define yourself and not to have someone tell you who you are and what your story is. But it's for you to put it out there. For you to be like, wait, I don't like this story. Let me change it into something. Let me fine tune it. And you're leaning into these little places and you're getting to know yourself with that much more depth, that much more ease, with that much more intricacy and attentiveness. And because of that, it's going to reflect on the people that are around you and how they step into your world. And if they're not able to meet you there, you're saying that, you know what, I can't do that. And you're also being asked to hold yourself accountable for how you've been showing up in relationships. If you've been passive in certain relationships, if you felt like you needed a certain type of financial tier to be in this friend group, and just to notice it. I'm not saying define what it is, but to notice the emotional charge so you can better facilitate, to redirect yourself further along your path. And so it's a bit more rooted. So you're a bit more rooted along your path. And you don't feel so wishy-washy, and you're noticing you want to be a certain way, but you're having trouble doing that and practicing that behavior, that embodiment. And so you're being asked to reflect, to really critically assess where you are, how you've been showing up, and the directional path that you're moving towards. And so you're also being reflected to you how you can, So at this time, because a lot of these emotions that are coming up, a lot of these perspectives that are coming up, but that's the thing, these are perspectives and emotions. And when you embody, when you truthfully allow yourself to feel these emotions, and it's feeling them without defining them. So feeling the emotions, seeing the visuals, seeing the possible implications that with the way that you've been showing up, the implications of the effects that you have on someone, on others, and the way you impact their life. And that can be so uncomfortable. So for the first time, it's a bit more potent, a bit more available for you to see different perspectives of how you're showing up and the way it's impacting others. And because you're seeing this, you're also seeing how you're impacting yourself and how it's going to inform you how to choose, how to make different choices, right? You're making different choices towards your path, your dream, your highest alignment, for you to know when you're overstretching yourself and to pull your energy back. And that gap between you going off track and coming back, it's going to shorten. The distance is going to get shorter as time moves along. So you're learning different perspectives, different insights about yourself, about how you've been truthfully coming through in this time. And so because you're noticing the way that all of these emotions are coming through and the way that you're impacting others, it's going to reflect to you why and how someone might be ideal for you. If a friendship is ideal for you, if a love is ideal for you, and the type of family that you want to be around, what that looks like and what that ideal life looks like. And for you to bring and anchor in all of these parts, for you to anchor in a bit more depth, because you're diving into places, not just surface level relationships anymore. At this time, you're being shown more in-depth relationships, and how sometimes you may have bitten off a little too much in a relationship, just a little too much. You might have taken a bit too much, dove in so intensely, so ready to play, but then you're like, wait, actually, I don't have the capacity for it. It is too much for me. So you're also reflecting on how you can approach your relationships differently, how to soften, how to go a little bit slower, to slow down your pace, to move along your journey and path just a bit more gradually, right? You're also learning how to let go of a lot of the experiences you've been having. So whether it's good or bad is secondary. So this is more of a neutral sight experience. So yeah, you're trying to not define what the experience is, and you're trying to more critically look at it and let go of what no longer serves. And sometimes, just very little sometimes, it's also letting go of the good experiences, because you could be also outweighing new relationships that come into a really good relationship that you had that was very short-lived. And you're holding it up so high that nothing new can come in. So you're being asked to let go of even the good relationships. But just for you to know that, you know what? You actually had a good relationship. whether it's short-lived or it's long-term, whatever the case may have been, it's the fact that you experienced it and that you do have a base point on that experience level, and for you to meet it, for you to soften yourself enough to meet your experiences, to meet your emotions. And so from understanding that, you're also learning that these are the little places that you might need a little bit of strengthening, a little bit of work on, and you're acquiring those skills. You're moving through them, whether it's you're going through therapy or going through workshops or having little meetups with a group of people, support groups, new activities that you're doing. So you're getting different perspectives on how to approach your life, how to do things differently, and that, you know what, there's more to life, and it doesn't have to be just one way. But just the fact that your life can be very multifaceted, and it's in experiences. It's full in experiences. It's full in what's being put into you, what you are putting into you. It's not just that life around you is putting all of this into you, but you're meeting the potential of what could be your life, defining it for yourself. When you meet an obstacle, when you meet a crossroad, if you should go left or right, when you're meeting those places, you're seeing that, wait, I want to go this way. I want to see what this brings. I want to work through my creativity and move through this and see what this brings and take it as far as it can go. And I know how to pivot myself when needed. And it's that practice of pivoting. It's the practice of fully immersing yourself. Of course, within reason and within like having a good support system, it does truly help. But being able to fully immerse yourself, it allows you to see something just a bit different. And for you to daringly have more experiences, to daringly meet even heartbreak, the possibility of falling in love, because it also holds the possibility of heartbreak. For you to meet experiences not because you're going to be broken, not because you're going to be left with a void, but just the fullness of that experience, the full human embodiment, the ebbs and flows of life. You're learning how to not brace yourself, even though you're experiencing all of this. You're learning how to tend to yourself, how to take care of yourself, how to nurture yourself, how to pause when you need to, and how to move forward and propel yourself when you need to. And so you're not continually ruminating on what was, and you're stepping a little bit more into what could be. And you're actually indulging in it. You're indulging in these possibilities. And because you're indulging in these possibilities, it is requiring you to ground yourself, because a lot of your emotions are what's coming up to play. Okay, it's more of your emotional state that's surfacing up. So grounding yourself just a little bit more, to slow your pace down, to ground it, to ground yourself. And when you meet yourself here, right here, in this place of alchemy, this is when you're starting to fully embody parts of yourself that you haven't before. And you're starting to meet the depths of who you are. No more surface level living, but it's you want depth, you want expansion, you want that more. And so at this time, it's going to be a little bit important for you to clean through energies. And it's not just your energy, but it's what possibly could be attached to you and what possibly could be in your physical surroundings. And also in the very walls of your home as well, right? And so you're learning how to build all of that, okay? You're learning how to even shed energy. So a lot of this can look like a cord cutting, writing like release letters and burning them, of course, safely. please do it safely, okay? Burning these cord-cutting letters and cleansing, saging your environment, your home. Also even soaking your feet in warm water and with some herbs and oils as well. Herbs and oils as well. And so when you're doing all of this, not only are you releasing, but you're also learning how to replenish yourself. Because when you release, you become empty. When you become empty, it's a bit more likely, especially if you're not used to it, you're more likely to invite in old habits again, because your body just fills up that space, and it's just so used to filling up that space with these emotions and these habits. And so putting in the intention to fill that space with love and potential, and to be inspired to incorporate what is for your highest good, your highest alignment, and being a bit more intentional with what you're putting in, with who you are stepping in as, and to be more deliberate with your energy and the way that you circulate it. You are also shifting habits, old habits that no longer serve, right? So as you're cutting, as you're releasing, you're implementing new habits, new behaviors, new thought processes. And so a lot of prayers, intentions that you set, they're done a little bit on the back end. So they're done more subconsciously than they are more practical. Okay? When something is put in subconsciously, your physiological body would automatically embody it and experience it and put it out. Also with this, as you're releasing a lot of these old habits, you're also reflecting on what are obligations that you're letting go of, unneeded obligations, unnecessary obligations that you signed up for. And you're like, I have to be here, I have to show up like this. If I don't, then this is gonna happen. You know what? Kind of let it happen. Within reason, of course, there are things that you do need to take responsibility for. But then there's other things that you can kind of let go of, right? And so please be discerning of when and how you're moving through this. And that's what I'm going to repeat again. Move through this a little bit slower than you normally would, because you're going to be playing with just a little bit more things that just aren't so black and white, and they are not meant to be rushed, okay? Because it can be quite overwhelming and disorienting for your nervous system, for your physiological body. And because something gets affected in your physiological body, it does impair and impact your mind and your ability to perform, your ability to show up, your ability to create, your ability to make money and to relate, right? So be a bit more intentional, slow your pace down, and ground yourself as you're being discerning of what is serving you, what is needed and what is not needed. And these answers and these questions that are coming through you, slow down, because you will see them, they will come up, but just slow down your pace just a little bit, slow it down. And so as you're slowing down all of these little parts, you're also noticing that there's a bit more room for more, right? And so it's mentally, emotionally playing with it, getting creative with what is that more that you want to look like? And how does that look like? How does that feel? And to pretend, practice, to play, to be creative with it. Do it when you can. The thing is, any type of creative endeavor that you step into, it should not have to take away from your basic needs. Your basic needs will always be met, and those come in priority. Creative play is also a basic need, okay? There's 3 basic needs, which is nourish yourself, okay? To feed, to nourish yourself, to sleep and rest and restore yourself, and then to play creative and sensual intimacy. Okay? So these are the 3 basic needs. And when you're playing with all of this, you're learning how to play on your day-to-day life. And so being creative, being playful, it's how you create life. It's how you put into yourself, how you put into your life, how you're meeting possibilities and potentials, and you're bringing it to life. You're energizing something that is inactive, and you're making it an active thing. And so as you're working through a lot of your emotions, a lot of your stories, a lot of the limitations that are coming up, and it's just that you might need a little bit of creative outlets. So this could look like a space where you can rage. It could look like ecstatic dancing, right? Putting on a music, whichever tone that you want, and ecstatic dancing. Drumming on something that allows you to release a lot of the whatever's pent up in you. And then you also have, what else? Sports, creativity, art, music, as I said, dance again, but also just playing. Plain and simple playing, primal way of playing. And when you have people that you can do this with, and it's not just you alone doing this, it's also doing it with others too. And when you have that space to creatively let out whatever this is, you begin to strengthen yourself in a whole other way. And that's what's beautiful. You strengthen yourself. And you meet yourself here, and you begin to truthfully understand a little bit more about you. And so the more you keep releasing a lot of your emotions that are pent up, because it could be that right now it's a bit more up high, those emotions, you feel it strongly in your chest, and there is something that you have not been letting out, whether it be in a creative outlet, whether it be something that you used to do when you were younger, that little thing that you used to do and you were drawn to when you were younger. You're being asked to put it out. You're being asked to invite that into your adult life again. And for you to play with it, for you to create with it, for you to put it out doesn't mean that you have to be good. But just put it out there. Bring it up. And let it live. Let it thrive. Let it be something. Let it be you. Let yourself truthfully be who you are here to be. And so when you're meeting yourself in this most vulnerable state, in this most intuitive state, it's important to replenish yourself with grounding food as well. With food that's a bit more intentional, with praying on your food before you consume it, sending it a good intention before you consume it, to welcome in whatever it is that you're welcoming in, whether it be new experiences, new people, food, for you to be intentional with what you're putting into yourself. This also means being intentional with the content, visuals that you're also consuming. And so the more you keep playing with these little places, you're going to meet yourself in a way that you haven't met yourself before. And that's what's coming up right now. And it's overwhelming to meet yourself like this in an emotional manner, an emotional capacity. And so I invite you here to step further into you. You are always grounded and supported in your endeavors, in your direction, but it's meet yourself. And so the message is complete here. I truthfully hope that this has brought you a little bit of solace, a little bit of clarity, a little bit of you along your path. And so with that little bit, I wish you guys all the best, and I will speak to you soon.